The application server demo has a number of grids that show how to use Google Maps in various ways. If we look at the maps in the menu, the first one we will look at is a map in a window. This opens up a single record, and by clicking on the link here, it will open up a map in a window for that particular record. And the help here shows what is happening. We can also open a map in an alternate view. In this particular case, we have a search section with a cascading drop-down. Notice we've also replaced the buttons in the search by icons. If you look at the information, we see there are a bunch of videos that are related to this that shows how the alternate view was created. It finds the map location from latitude and longitude. So if we select this, we can see all the various locations that are on the grid will be shown on the map. If we click on one of the individual icons, we can see what airport this is related to. If we click on it, it gives a little bit more information about the airport location. We can also click here, and this opens a window with more detailed information. If we go to the next group of records, the map repopulates with all the various airports that are on that particular list. We can go to map marker icons, which is very similar. It numbers the icons here, so we can see number 3 is the Fort Worth Airport, as we can see here. Again, this has the airport location if we click on the icon, and we have detail information if we click on the link. Again, we have a cascading drop-down. We can also use the security system to filter records. As we can see, we are logged in as John Doe. Therefore, if we click Current User Invoices, there is a filter on this particular grid that will filter records so there are only records shown for John Doe are being displayed. It shows here how we do this. When on the tabbed UI component that contains the grids, when we have an on login event, it sets a number of session variables for the current user. And this particular information, such as user ID, can then be used to filter data for that user. And on a logout, we set the session variables to blank values. So we log out, and notice because we're logged out, we're not going to even see that option in the menu for seeing the user's invoices because no user is logged in. So if we log back in, we will then see that option being redisplayed. Notice if we make an error on the login, we will get an error message that is appropriate. Now that we have logged in, notice the security option is now shown in the menu. We also have an option under Special Controls. We can play videos. This is an option to play YouTube videos. Again, in the help here, which shows how the video player is constructed. And again, we're using arguments to pass the values from the fields to the player. So we can look at this particular option here. We click on the viewer, we'll see a YouTube video that pertains to this particular information.
This video shows new.
We also have some special controls here called server-side events. There are situations, as we are seeing here, that we're using server-side SQL events to get the count of records and query for the records. The reason this is done is the particular query expression that's used will not parse in portable SQL. It uses a very complex SQL select statement for this particular data, which only works in native syntax. And some other explanation of how we are actually using the query statement in the grid query definition. Also, we're using icons again in place of buttons. So if we type in A and we find customers starting with A, we will get all those customers. As you can see, we can also sort columns appropriately based on the SQL events.